Thanks for tapping in with 95 South TV, hosted by Icon Ian King J, bringing you the best news and media through the efforts of the community. We interview nonprofit organizations, business owners, school teachers, spiritual leaders, and anybody who has an impact in the community that has a remarkable backstory. These professionals that we bring on this show has a story that will wow you, that will knock your socks off. And with that being said, we want you to tune in, keep it locked. We want you to like, share, follow, and subscribe. Be a dedicated listener. Come in, and if you require to do an interview, you can definitely reach out to us at 95southpodcast@gmail.com.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon. And once again, we're here on 95 South TV. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity because without him, there would be no us to be able to have this great interview. Next, I want to introduce my right hand man, your baby mama favorite host, you know what I'm saying, Barry White Jr. himself, you know what I'm saying, Jacob the Great. What's going on, brother?
What up, brother? What up? What up? Glad to be in the land of the living. Another day to get it right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got these two queens on here today, man. Go ahead and introduce these two lovely ladies so we can get this interview cracking.
So I'll let Dr. Hope introduce herself first, and then the young lady sit beside her to introduce herself, and then we can get into that story.
Yes, absolutely. You know, it's your girl, the real Hope Doc, Dr. Tahira thing, Lee. I'm about to say, listen, it's Sunday. Y'all gonna have to give me some grace and mercy. I've been working hard. I did 100 million hours this week. You know what I'm saying? The hustle don't stop. But yes, it's your girl, the real Hope Doc, Dr. Tahira Lee. I'm all things youth education and community, and I'm just super passionate about running with the horse, the fire horse this year, and that light that to help the future generation be whole, happy, and peaceful.
Yes,
You know,
yes, yes.
and my girl right here.
Yes. Hey, how's everybody doing? My name is Atia Lee, and I am the SEO, the Student Engagement Officer, and President for Hope House University. And I'm excited to be here with y'all today and talk to you guys.
Yes, and she's a mom. Listen, she
Yes.
just had a
Oh
baby
my gosh, she's
6 months ago. Listen.
she's downstairs.
All right, congratulations, congratulations.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you. She's 5 months. She turns 6 months tomorrow. Yeah.
okay,
You want to
cool,
go
cool,
back to them
cool.
stages? I don't. Listen, I just want to be a grandma at this point.
Right.
That's all I'm trying to be. I ain't trying to have no more kids. Nope, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Period.
These kids nowadays don't listen, so You
Listen,
know,
because they're AI kids now. All the kids is AI. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going
There's
on.
too much AI nowadays.
Okay, there's AI in the sports and there's AI in these schools. That's what the problem is. Okay.
exactly. So, Jacob, go ahead and ask a question. I know you got a question, Jacob.
Yes, yes. So let's get started by talking about nonprofit community and intellectual development. And so with having a nonprofit, there's a lot of unique intellect that goes into building a nonprofit. Whether it stems from education or whether it stems from medical history, where it stems from things that go on in church facilities. So, what was the key factor on why you wanted to build and open up a nonprofit?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fantastic question because when people think about nonprofits, they kind of like think, oh, well, that's some community organization. They're not really doing too much. They don't make any money. It's not a profitable thing. But what they don't understand is nonprofits are really, really big sector. And a lot of things that we depend on would not exist today if it was not for nonprofits, hospitals, fire stations, police stations, schools, churches, things of that nature. Like all of those things people
That's
don't
huge.
realize has a huge impact. You know what I mean? We may not be chasing profit and we're chasing people and purpose, but we still need resources and everything that we need to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a great question.
Okay, so from building the foundation of the nonprofit, what are some challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome those challenges?
When we started this in 2018, to kind of formalize their roots. We just not realize like all the legalities, like the red tape, and
Yeah.
especially with the school where Atia
Grants and
for example, our school, we had shout out to JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo for being sponsors for our financial literacy programs, where our kids literally get a trust fund. So they get a trust. They get paid to go to school. So it's about $5,000 per year. And the idea is, thanks to Atia and her brilliant mind, um, about when they come in at 7 and launch at 17, they have about 50 bands. And I don't know about you, if I had $50,000 at graduation, my life would have looked a whole lot different. The Gallup survey in 2022 estimated that the average high school student only had $500 in their bank account. But yet, as soon as they graduate, we ready for them to get on,
Yeah.
right? I kind of like, okay, you graduated, I did my job, you're 18, get out, gone, bye. You know what I'm saying? And that's not setting our kids up for success, which is why it's important that we structured our school and our nonprofit the way that we did, so that they would be able not to just survive, but to thrive in each, development period in their life. You know what I'm saying?
hmm. And I feel like another challenge probably be like the grants and like the loans.
The grants,
Yeah,
yeah, another
that's
challenge.
a
The
lot.
funding is always money. Like Wu Tang said, I kind of cream cash rules everything around me big. Is that how it
Yeah.
go? You know how it goes. Something like that.
Feel yo, come on, I'm not
Yeah,
that
yeah.
young.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
All right.
I'm saying, so it's like you gotta have fun. Teachers cost money. Books, digital books, whether digital or in print, cost money. You know what I mean? Technology is expensive, but you know, a
Right.
change
So
on come.
it is. It is. So I do find that a lot of nonprofits have a lot of professionals that really help people in a different way. I've sat on the board of some nonprofits where they fight against human trafficking, sexual assault, mental abuse. I sat on a board in New York for the Black Fatherhood Reclamation, the Black Motherhood Reclamation. So, with your nonprofit, do you guys offer, you know, um, because people don't think like when it comes to the way that the curriculum education have changed, a lot of parents need to be counseled through the change. So, do you guys offer the counseling for parents as well, so they can be like minded and understand as you have outlined?
Yeah, absolutely. As is evident, with us being on the call here, I am the CEO, and then the SEO, my daughter that is here, showing that legacy matters. So, and
Does
parents
everyone?
are the legacy of their children and vice versa. So we not only talking to the parents, counseling, we offer counseling and self-care groups and financial literacy and mental health resources for the parents. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Like
cut you
the
off.
family though, like I was just saying, like there's a like a web. It's like a web. Like everybody's connected, so the parents are gonna always be talked to as well, and like informed about everything going on, because there's a lot of like parents who just aren't like basically educated with the school system now, and want better for their kids and just don't know how. So
Don't know how. They feel like they don't have a voice because there's so much information out
and
there.
just haven't had those conversations because it's generational.
It's generational, and the kids don't really have the language, right? You can't express something that you have not been taught to, which is why at the beginning of every week, before our students dive into the curriculum, they meet with their mindset mentor, their success coach, that says, hey, what does this week look like? Let's set some tangible, measurable goals and how you see and how you want this week to go. And some of our students are dealing with serious issues. 1 out of 4 of our students are neurodivergent. So sometimes they don't feel good to get up to go to school on a Monday, and then it rolls into Tuesday. You know what I mean? So our kids are facing a lot. And I think trying to approach them as cogs in the wheel or numbers on a spreadsheet or
Needs
whatever,
some
we
help.
should individualize our approach to what they need to really make an impact and be fulfilled, because I feel like that's something that's missing in your generation. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
agree?
I just feel like the school system is like a cycle of like, worker bees or like the school to prison pipeline, and it's just regurgitating and memorizing information. It's just not giving them the tools they need to succeed.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So we here, the dynamic duo to come, disrupt the corporate system and the education platform because
Something needs to change.
something got to change.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's interesting, um, Miss T, you said something that's interesting to me. And every household is not the same, but you said parents don't understand. And my question is why they don't understand. Why are you not asking? You know, why don't you say, well, explain the curriculum to me this year? Because the curriculum changes year by year. And so, you love your children, right? So you need to know what they're being taught and who's teaching them and what type of character that this person has that's teaching your children. And so, why is that not a question in the parent's mind or questions in the parent's mind, so they can get a better understanding of the school system?
I think it's too, man, y'all asking some really good questions today. So I think that's a loaded question, first of all.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing is that our parents are distracted, right? If we think about the era when you and I came up from school or our peers, probably mom was working part time or she was at home with the kids, and the partner that was helping the household was working. But now that is far few in between. Mom has three jobs. Mom has three jobs. Mom was working 80 hours a week
Yeah, trying to
to
keep
put the
up.
bacon on the table. So the last thing she want to do is ask some questions about what's going on in school. She is trying to figure. She's trying to remember her first and last name and her social security number. You know what I mean? So, and then the phone, the technology, like doom scrolling, the addiction to social media, the just the veil. You know what I mean? A lot of people sleepwalking out here. They in autopilot, and we were created to do more than just get up, go to work, come home and eat, sleep, rinse, repeat, and then die.
Okay. So I got one more blasted question, but I got several. You know that, don't you? I got several,
I
but
already know. I already know.
but now for you, Dr. Hope, after doing your studying and your research, what was the thought process of you, the mental and the emotional process of, and spiritually that drove you to start an online school? Like how did it take process, and how long did it take you to commit to doing that?
Oh my goodness, let me tell you. So I have six children for those that don't know me, and a grandchild now. And but I was the child out of seven, and my grandma had 22 that I said, I don't want any kids. I don't want any kids. I want to take over the world. I see how mama and grandma struggle with these kids. Please skip me. But it didn't matter what I tried. Pill, pipe, shot, tube
Yep.
side, it don't matter. Them babies came. Okay. And then my purpose just kept chasing me down. And then my last two children, they were very special the way that they learned, very different, very bright and brilliant children. But I noticed that the school system uh
Can accommodate.
didn't could not accommodate their genius. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take matters into my own hands because one of the things that my personality test that I did said that I could have been a teacher. Listen, I don't know. I could have been a teacher like in the 50s where you could beat your kids during that time. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat kids no more. But in the 50s, you could beat the kids. I can't be no teacher
Hell
in
no.
2025. These kids is bad.
She was a
You know
Tia.
what? I know some shit. You know
These
what?
kids too damn bad. No, I can't. No, I'll be a teacher in the 50s where I can kick your ass if you got out of line.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hell
yeah,
no.
yeah. So,
You,
so,
but yeah, so we just saw a need, and we just feel the need. Our my children, Atia, myself, my daughter. we're neurodivergent, and 1 out of 4 children are neurodivergent, but our public school system does not teach to them. They teach to the others, and so they get left out and left behind. So we come to let them know that we see you and we hear you.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. I come over to you, man.
All right. First and foremost, this is powered by 810 Studios, also InspireRadio.com, and please subscribe to our YouTube page at 95 South Network. So please subscribe. So this is the question I got. Let's kind of go back and talk to people in layman's terms of one, the school is online. Y'all based out of Atlanta, but it stretches out to the Caribbean. So if I'm a parent and I want to sign my kids up for this school, how does this go? How does this work?
I'm gonna let the SEO, the student engagement officer, the one that be getting the kids hype. You got four
Like as,
thousand kids on the roster.
but do you mean as far as it
Where
just
they go?
being in the Caribbean?
No, he's saying where do they go to sign up? What
Like,
website? What country?
basically, it's an online school. I know y'all based out of Atlanta. You also have schools, or the school you have people out in the Caribbean that go to the school. So if I'm a
Yes.
parent and I want to come to the school, what's like the criteria basically? What do
Oh, you
I
talking about the
what do I yeah.
criteria?
Yeah, more.
Yes.
We'll get into the website part of it, like all the information at the end. I'm just talking about the criteria to be able to go to this school.
Oh,
Like
that's
as a
easy.
parent, or like to enroll your student, or as a student trying to go.
No, that's what he's saying. Like, what is the requirements for them to go? What do we always say? All your kid needs is Wi-Fi and what? Hope.
Yeah,
That's it. If
Wi-Fi
you
and
need
hope.
Wi-Fi, that's it.
So something to be able to get online.
Yeah. So they need to be 7 through 17,
Is it?
and they need
Mm-hmm.
to be they had Wi-Fi. And if they don't have a laptop, through our partners with Meta, they will get a
Yeah,
device.
they can be provided
So
one.
there is really no criteria because we are a remote charter school on a homeschool platform with a Montessori swag. And we
Okay.
intentionally structured our school, and we took 10 years to build this school before we even took our first student. That's how serious and committed and how deep and evolved this technology is. These kids are engaged. They work one-on-one with their career counselors and their mindset to pick their classes and to customize their classes, even down to the time that they take their lessons. This is with them
Okay.
in mind. So that's why we don't have to beg them to get up and go to school. They're excited. They got something
Okay.
out, and it's something I forget what the psychological term it is, but when you have an opportunity to build something with your own hands, I guess they call it skin in the game. You got skin in the game. So you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be more apt to tend to that, to cultivate that, because it's something that you created. It's your baby. So that's how
Gotcha.
we kind of have this approach. Like, hey, this is your baby. Water it, grow it. Whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. It's your decision. What does success look like for you? 7-year-old, 8-year-old,
Right.
15-year-old, 12-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so basically, the students that come there, they already have to have proven that they academically can handle this, or is it just y'all give everybody an opportunity?
As long as they can read. That's the only real requirement.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
you read, and can you get Wi-Fi in your area? Because if
Okay.
you cannot get what we're working on, we're doing a campaign right now, the Tech for Hope campaign, where because we need to raise 150,000 for this satellite, for this space in this satellite, that's where you don't need Wi-Fi, you just need access to the satellite. But that technology is very new. Elon Musk has championed it. That's his baby. So it's very expensive to rent that space from him. But I think as that new satellite technology comes available, that the prices are going to come down. So we're just going to wait it out and see. But until then, exclusively, offering this to people who have access to Wi-Fi.
And going
Okay.
back to what you said about what you need to be able to do, it's really more about like the kids' interests, because we focus on BRATS, which is a business, real estate, tech, and science, right?
Arts,
No, arts.
business, real estate, arts, tech, and science, brats.
Yeah. that. So, if anything, it's like kind of more creative in a way. Would you say?
Yeah, and it's hands on, you know what I mean? Like our bodies were meant to move, our minds were meant to not, we can't sit down for
Mm-hmm.
like 8 hours a day listening to somebody lecture us and expect to retain 30% of that information. So it's like the other 70% of the time is just a waste of time. But we don't have time to waste. We have this thing at the school what we call net time, which is NET, which means no extra time. When your boss, back at the fast food restaurant, if you ever had that experience, if you got time to lean, you got time to
Yeah.
clean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I used to manage
Okay.
restaurants back in the day. I used to manage restaurants,
Yeah.
so basically, so you have to have. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so you have to have the what they call
Know how to
the
read.
curriculum, the curriculum to be able to, for the kids to be able to qualify to graduate and everything, like the school curriculum, whatever the state curriculum or whatever it's called. You have to
Yeah,
have
so
that.
it's a blend of state KPIs, key
Uh huh.
performance indicators, but it's also because we're Montessori and we're more like held in a private school light, where we have flexibility to create and customize the
The lesson
curriculum to the
plan.
child. Which
Okay. Okay.
makes me get less funding. Like they say, oh, okay, you wanna do your own thing. Oh, you wanna bring in experts and proven people. You want to enrich your kids. Okay, guess what? We're gonna give you less money because you're making them smarter. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna give
So
us less money because we're gonna make them more equipped for the world. So they don't have to be 9 to 5ers, that they're enterprises. That they got their own
uh-huh.
business. Our graduates graduate with their own business. That is the graduation how you say it? Requisite?
Requisite. Uh,
Requisite, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you
yeah.
getting it.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
If you're
what
this
so if I was a parent, I mean, if I was somebody wanting to go to school, parent or whatever, or somebody want to give y'all money, what's your biggest success story out of all the kids that graduate? What's your biggest success story?
Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna go to Imani. Imani has a natural hair care line, and she came with us when she was a teenager, just getting into her teenagehood, and now she is 20 years old, and she made 5 figures in the first year. She made six, and now she's on her way to seven, and she's getting ready
Mm,
to retire her whole family. And all
okay.
she needed somebody to say, "Yes, you can." And I believe in you. And here are some experts to help you do that. I mean, she got so many grants because they heard her story and how talented she was, and they want to support that. Prerequisite. That's what it is. Prerequisite. It just came to
You
my
okay?
mind. You know what I mean? Anyway, but yeah. So it's just that's one of many. Uh, I'm gonna say my youngest daughter is a success story. She's the second year of her business in Perfect Pets. You know what I mean? She came into this as a shy, timid, now she's like, oh, I want to be emancipated. I'm gonna be on six figures next year. I'm 16. I want my own place. I'm like,
My
okay.
car.
I'm like, six figures is nothing. It's $1. In the United States, six figures is $1. Don't play with
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. And you know what's
Don't.
crazy? You know what's crazy about what y'all doing? Y'all are changing not just the dynamic of just y'all changing the whole dynamic of the world. The reason I mean that is because we've been
Yes.
screaming for this for years, especially in the black community.
Yes.
When you send these kids to school, start teaching them how to be owners and not workers. That's the
Yep.
problem with America now. They teach you, basically they put you into a public school system to educate you to work for somebody, and we don't have
Yep.
enough bosses in the world of people that can go out and be their own bosses. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's designed to be that way, and that's how they want it to be because they want more workers and they want multimillionaires and billionaires. So because somebody got to do the work. But what y'all doing is changing the whole dynamic of how education should be as far as teaching kids how to be, because everybody's not going to be where you call your traditional 4-year college. And a lot of
Yep.
them that are 4-year college students, most of them don't even do the thing that they graduated in. They
Yeah.
end up going back to school and doing something else anyway. So what y'all
Right.
doing is different. It's different. So I got one more question before I throw it back to Jacob. You don't have to say the name. What's the person who came in in your mind you was like, "Woo, I don't know about this one," but then they ended up being something bigger than what you thought. You know what I'm saying? I know it
Oh
has to
my
because
goodness.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
I
said you
think,
don't gotta say no
yeah, yeah.
names.
I think at this particular student, that society has a way of positioning and painting a picture of how our black young men should be and carry themselves. So this particular young man was very creative and very artistic in expression. Um, some people would say back in the day, like, oh, he might be a little sweet. No, he not sweet. He has a high fashion sense. You know what I'm saying? He has a high fashion sense, and because he was expressive in his art language, he got bullied and picked on a lot. So that's why this school exists, because you can come to school as you are, don't have to worry about whether you got the fours or fives on, no matter if you got a high income or a low income, that you can come as you are and get loved on anyway, and constantly be reminded of how great you are. um in addition to them meeting with their mindset mentor and success coach at the start of every curriculum week, every day they have a coach, that a digital coach, an AI study buddy, that greets him in the morning and says, "Hey, Atia. Hey, Queen Atia, you're gonna have a great day today. You are victorious. Oh, you were a little bit sad, but we gonna, you know what, yesterday, but guess what? Today's a new day. You got this, and I'm here if you need me." Just imagine having that and something reinforcing you throughout the day multiple times. You start to get used to that. You start talking to yourself in that way. And that is to speak life. Like parents, you gonna speak life over your children, but we gonna make sure we speak life over your kids while you entrust them to be in our care. Because we're not playing about your kids. And God is
Mhm.
not playing about us, and He's not playing about them. So we're just trying to be a good stewards and run with our light, and let these kids know that nobody has forgotten about you. Like, you can do whatever you put your mind to, especially now. And if you don't get it now, you may miss out. So don't miss the bus. Get on the bus. Get up.
Mhm. Go ahead,
You know
Jacob.
what I'm saying?
Okay, so when when these children come to your school, when they first come, is there an IQ assessment test so you can
No.
see what their intellect is?
No, absolutely not. There's a series of aptitude, personalities, and brain assessments that they go through. Our neuroscience team and our STEM team put this together. They work very hard over 24 months to get the right combination so that we could really detail, because it's all about the details.
Yeah.
It's all about the details. If you get a detail wrong, it could put you off 25%, 30. You know what I'm saying? It's a big deal. So that's why we took so much time and so many resources in making sure that we got the intake process right. And so much so that we're delicate in the fact that it can be readjusted within those 30 days, like to kind of try it, a 30-day trial. And if it doesn't work for them, then maybe that's not the school. But we have a 97% success rate. 97% of the people that come at HHU that enroll and go through all the enrollment have stayed. We have a 97% retention rate because it works.
So not in an IQ kind of test, more of like a to get to know the student deeper,
Yeah, how they learn, what's the best time for them
customized.
to learn. Like, are you a good remote learner? Because you could be brilliant, but you need somebody to sit in front of you and lecture you. So those kids are not good for this setup, for this model, and that's okay. It's not for everyone, but for everyone that is for, it's life changing, if that makes any sense.
It does. It
Mhm.
does. It does.
Yeah.
So with you guys opening up this school and changing the lives of kids and parents, what would you say your end goal is?
The end goal is to they enter into a space where they feel heard, that they know that they're loved and be loved, and that they have the tools to co-create any life that they dream of, and while that they're going to learn how to be a better steward over the environment through our environmental studies curriculum.
Emotional.
They're going to learn how to talk and speak in complete sentences and give eye contact. They're gonna learn which is the salad fork and the dinner fork, because maybe your track is you're gonna be in a room with 7 and 8 figure people. There's a type of etiquette. There's a type of space that you have to feel in the air for you not to get passed over in rooms like that. So we're teaching our kids that young that decorum matters, your energy matters, your impact matters, your voice matters, your birth matters, you matter, you know what I mean? But starting with them, with you in mind, like this is your universe, this is HHU, this is for you, you know what I mean?
Okay, so another question for you. What is the meaning behind the name of your school?
The name,
Hope.
yes. What does hope mean, Atia?
Helping others pursue elevation.
Elevation in what, Atia? Elevation
That,
where?
that's what do you mean where?
I love her so
What do you
much.
mean
Listen,
where?
my SEO, she is so cute. We're doing we got Apple iTunes podcast coming out called Bipolar and Brilliant, and she's ragging on me so hard. I love the fact that I get to see her today and bold and beautiful
Yeah.
and a little bit shy. I love it. I get to rag on her a little bit, uh, but yeah, like I'm just super excited about all that the opportunities have to offer for this, and I want to thank you two for being bridges, because I see how hard that you guys go for the youth. You know what I mean, and especially in the South. You know what I'm saying, and we're going hard for the youth too. And something that we wanted to tell you and talk to you about is
Definitely
the.
have Marty Brand though.
I do.
Yeah, you forgot what he asked.
You see how she ragged on me? I kind of,
You
I
try
was
to.
trying to go past it
I,
like real smooth, like
She was
like
trying
I
auntie
know.
say forget,
I
and then
see.
she gonna bring it a seat. I told you she's
Uh-huh.
really an asshole for real, but
she
I
kept
love her.
talking about me and she just forgot the whole thing.
Hey,
See,
hey,
that's how you
I
She
should
was
see.
like, yeah, you forgot
Hey,
that
hey,
she was
hey,
talking.
I see that. Cause I could be a little butthole sometimes too. So I already know what it is. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
But
Listen,
where?
leave it to the
Yeah.
peers, man, the youngest man. You was like,
So now then I'm a Uno reverse on you. Where did the name Hope come from? The name of the school come from? And
okay.
what does it mean?
Helping others pursue elevation in
Yes.
every area of their life.
There we
Every area.
go. That's why you said where.
Business, professional, personal, the relationship with God, the relationship with themselves.
Mm.
Baby, that relationship with yourself is everything.
Yeah.
Iconi. If you hate yourself, you hate everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nothing
definitely.
is going to thrive.
You right. You right. You right.
They always
I
say
would
that
say
you
hundred
can't
percent.
pour for an empty cup for no reason.
Right. You
Oh
can't pour
yeah.
from any cup. We got to fill our kids up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
So.
and and, and, and so uh, a special topic that I would like to dive into, since we're dealing with the children that's going to be the future leaders. Um, I feel like a lot of times, when it comes to the education system, I think it should be a whole course on character development, because because a lot of kids, when they're at home, they don't have identity, and they don't understand what their character should be or what it could be. So let's talk about character development and how that plays a part within your school program.
Oh my goodness, that is so important. We can call it what we can call a thing, like Ivania Van Zandt says. Some of these kids be little jerks. Okay, they just rude and just mean and inconsiderate for no reason. But it's not no reason. It's the whole character development. They don't know better. You can't do better unless you know better. And a lot of their parents don't have any sense, don't have social emotional intelligence skills. So the SEI program that we have, the social emotional intelligence and learning program that we have, is the foundation of building those character skills. Because if you don't know how your impact matters, and if you don't know who you are and why you should do X, Y, and Z, why you should be nice to people, why you should, because our kids are very curious.
Yeah.
This
Mm-hmm.
is not the generation of, okay, remember back in the day? Yeah. Like, mama told us, Iconi, watch your mouth. Don't ask no
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Hush your mouth.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my grandma. I'm gonna tell you something about my grandmother. Two things. My grandmother, we couldn't just say hello, Mister whatever Johnson. We had to say hello, how you doing? Good afternoon, good morning. That's how we had to speak to grown folks when I was growing up. And I give you another real nugget. My grandmother, when my granddaddy was stationed out in Okinawa, I think, Japan, and she actually they had a class where she taught table etiquette to the other women, other military moms or military wives. And so
Yeah.
think about this black lady, you know what I'm saying, teaching white women how to know what the right salad fork is, knowing how to sit at a table. Like when we ate at my grandmother's table, you couldn't put your elbows in the table on the table. You was taught not to smack. You taught not to chew with your mouth full. So we knew what a salad fork was from a soup fork, from all that soup spoon and all that. So just imagine we talking about back in the this had to be like the 40s and the 50s when she did this. You know what I mean? Teaching,
Absolutely.
so yeah. So I know exactly what you mean. You
Listen,
know.
them big deals, them big money deals, most of it is made on the golf course or at the dinner table.
That's
And
true.
so when
Mm-hmm.
they see our, especially our youth, they put like, oh, you know how to you were quote unquote raised right. They
Right.
start
Yeah.
to pay attention, and where your attention goes, your money flows. You feel
Yeah.
me? So it's like, okay, I want to invest in that. This is somebody that I know is, I'm not going to cast my pearls onto swine, so to speak, because if they see, if we see, like, we are examples of this. I know that you're not going to invest in anything that's going to not going to be worth your while. That's not going to go. That's not, you don't see the potential in. You know what I'm saying? So we just want to be able to make sure that we impart in them, to help them fire up that light inside so that they come out here full brightness, not dimming their light for nobody, no thing, not they parents, not they boo things, not they friends, not social media. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
It's
that's
in
why we do
them.
it. It's in
It's
them.
there. It just needs to be
Yeah.
awoken.
Yep.
Hey, Jacob, before we lose time, I wanna get into the sports academy part of it too. I want to really hear about this.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, that would be, that's like the number one question. They'd be like, well, you got sports, you a remote charter school. How are you going to do with the sports? Well, we have, it's strategic partnerships. Right now our biggest partnership was with BBBS Atlanta, which is Big Sisters and Big
Yeah.
Brothers of Atlanta. Um, they have outings, flag football, volleyball, all sorts of things. And then the YMCA is another strategic partnership that we have. That
They have teams.
the issue right now is getting them to commit to forming the numbers, because if they don't have enough people to sign up, then they're like, hey, we're not going to have this sports team. But I feel like we are making waves and just making sure people know that this benefit is out there so that we can grow the teams and the numbers. But online is where it's at. Let me tell you, we have this technology that we invested in that is like a kind of like an Oculus, but it's a cape. It has body sensors, so if they do swimming or if they do basketball, if they do football, they feel like they're on that court. They feel like they're in the pool because of the body sensors,
Yeah.
and with the combination of the cape, the body sensors, and the Oculus, they feel like they're really in it. And
Yeah.
the system tracks like their heartbeat, their calories burned, like keeps tracks of their BMI, so they see that, hey, if I stay active, I can lead a healthier life. They're able to say visually how their
See
health
the
is improving.
progress.
You know what I mean? So it's not just sports to have sports, because it's connected to mind, body,
Health is
spirit, and
health is
soul. Like,
wealth.
yeah, health is wealth, and sports is a great outlet. Like, how fast you have to think on the football or the basketball court? That's math and
Mm-hmm.
science.
Yeah.
Critical thinking
Mm-hmm.
skills
That's
too.
critical thinking skill. That's teamwork skills.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So people that are taking the sports and the arts away from their programs, they're doing our kids a disservice, because they want them to ultimately sit behind the computer, type some codes, be obese, do DoorDash, will have no contact with the world, and then die.
Yeah. Hmm.
They don't
Exactly.
want them to be out here thinking for themselves and making pathways and bridges for people who are underserved and
Hmm.
overlooked. They don't want that.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Jacob, you got any more
So we bring.
questions?
I do icon, but since we almost out of time, I got a bunch of questions, bro. I can I
We got to do
I
a
can write
part two then.
Right.
I can write a whole I can write a
Shoot, we
whole
got to
book
run
on
it
this
back
interview,
then. We
bro.
got to run it back. That's all.
I'll
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
definitely got to run it back. But I do got a couple more questions about. I know people. We first talked about the nonprofit part. So just talk
Yes.
about a couple of the events because that's very important. Talk about the events that you may have coming up over the next several months for your calendar for
Yes.
2026.
Yeah. So we're a high touch, high tech uh movement. So we do get out in the community. Either we are attending your community event or we're hosting our own or some type of collaborative effort at least once a week. And then once a quarter we have our own branded gathering, I usually say. But the one that we look forward to and the one that is just we work so hard to make sure that is the most successful that it could be out of all of the events is our annual Swing for Hope Gala. And it's a youth celebrity, a
What a
golf youth celebrity golf tournament that 100 ATL kids go against 60 or more golf professionals for the title for the title and hope. Yes, and so it's a great time. It's a 2 day event. It's October 3rd and October 4th this year. Where we have some, we can't make the announcement yet, but we have some very I could just say ATL homegrown. They might have been in the beefs recently. That's all I can say until the ink is dry. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh
to have them as
well, who
sponsors.
could that have been? But go ahead. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
but to have them as sponsors because they do their golf thing real big, it's an honor and a pleasure to have them there. And I know that we're in discussion, and hopefully that you guys say yes to coming through with your love and light for our Swing for Hope Gala 2026.
Okay, yeah, because so who's been the biggest golf person that you've had out there in the
So
past?
Aaron Browning of the Chicago Soul City Circuit. If you don't know about them, you better Google them. They run the world. Let me tell you. So Aaron Browning is the founder of the Swing for Hope. He was the creator. He was the one that brought all the golf people. I'm talking about. I was like, what is going on here? Like I just was just so grateful to be in those rooms and introduced to those. I just didn't realize, I tried, I got some golf lessons and realized that, listen, it's a whole body. It's like, you might as well be playing football. Right. I
Mm,
was like, I played golf for 2 hours and was shut down for a week.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to figure out
Like,
where's the golf course in Atlanta. It's a
oh my
golf course.
goodness, there are so many. There are so many. The Sugarloaf. We're doing ours at the Sugarloaf golf course. There's one. Oh my God, there are
It's off of
tons.
Sugarloaf Parkway. Off of Sugarloaf Parkway.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay, I know that area.
that's a really nice one too. But there are so many. I can't even name them all. There are
Got you,
so
got
many, and
you.
that's what I was thinking too. But a lot of black kids play golf, and nobody talks about these. And
Yeah.
we have some youth professional golf athletes that are coming on this gala that you'll get to meet. And I'm just thankful for the Swing for Hope because man, this is really gets to Andre, our mayor, is coming out to support. Sonia is trying of Clayton County, and Atlanta is has it tentatively on her calendar. So I'm super excited about all the attention
So
that it's going to
so
bring on these kids.
so Jacob, remember? Okay, so you still got contact with those with the parents of them two black kids that play golf. So could we
sure,
interview? Remember the two
sure.
guy, the guy, one of them.
Yeah,
I think the girl was from
the
Buffalo,
girl,
New York.
yeah, and the guy was from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So, cause So we interviewed like maybe about a year ago. We interviewed a young lady out of Buffalo, New York. She was like the first. She actually played football. She actually went to like a football camp and was like maybe three, or I mean, I think it was like she might have been her, maybe two other women. It was like I don't know, 200 or 300 meet guys at a football camp or something she went to,
Yeah.
and then she also played golf and got a scholarship. And she was going to school to be like a marine biologist. So we know that's unheard of. A black person doing something like we're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So this girl was super talented in what she did, and then the guy he got a scholarship, and I want to say I think he ended up going to HBCU out of Rock Hill, but he was one of the few black kids, that got a scholarship playing golf. So I just was thinking about it. If somehow we can get in touch with them, maybe they could come and participate in your
Yeah,
tournament if they feel
absolutely.
it. Yeah, so yeah, I just thought about that, or whatever. But yeah, well, what y'all doing is amazing work. I'm actually blown away because, like I said, y'all changing. I was just thinking like a regular online school, but when you're talking about teaching ball skills, ownership skills, that's something that we've been talking about for years because that's the only way that black and brown people are going to get any kind of real leverage in the world. If we start being bosses and understanding, we don't have to go work for somebody even at a lawyer firm. Not saying nothing wrong being a lawyer or working at whatever, a warehouse or whatever it is. We can be our own bosses. We don't always have to be so dedicated to have to work for somebody else and they making billions and we making $20 an hour. You know what I'm saying? So that's what y'all
Absolutely.
do.
Just getting the crumbs. Listen, I know
Yeah.
you. Listen. Whew, we traded our 9 to 5 in for a 24/7, and let me tell you, where it paid me $1 or $1 million, I would still do it because this is what I was called to do. What you're doing is what you're called to do, and like that's the whole thing. You hit the nail on the head with the hammer. We've got to break our kids out the matrix. We got to teach them and remind them of who they are and who they were called to be in this story.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
because the thing about it is, our forefathers or whatever our ancestors, that's what we seen them do. Work at a warehouse for 30 years and then one day go to work, get fired, and get a watch and sent home. You know what I mean? And we just got, and that's what they
A
try to teach us
watch.
to
Get
do.
fired and get a watch.
Yeah, and we were like, and then they try to teach us to be the same way, and then we start to break in the cycle. And I know our kids, I hear my son tell it. I know he ain't trying to work for nobody long, but you know what I'm saying. I know
They
that's how his
lazy.
generation is.
And they lazy now, right? They
Oh
don't
yeah, that's
listen, they
over.
could never do what we did back.
Oh
You
no,
know
no, no, no.
that?
Mm-mm.
They said,
But
what?
anyway,
You went to work for 40 hours a week? Oh, you
yeah,
were
yeah.
slaving. Like, no,
And then,
that's how it's set up.
and then they work for 40 hours a week and then sleep for the rest of the 10, 12 hours. Like you had, like you went out there, doggone, with a sledgehammer breaking rocks or something. And y'all like you was that? Why are you that tired? You should not. Nah, you too young to be that tired. I remember
Right.
working a 40-hour week and still going to the club and all that other stuff too. So no, come on now, stop.
Listen.
Not,
Be like, let
not,
me take a
not,
little
not,
nap in the parking lot real quick. I need 30
not,
minutes.
not even, not even only that. Don't none of these kids know how to work with their hands. So if the world shut down tomorrow, they can't survive.
Uh-uh.
Hey, you better preach. You better talk about it. Listen, they can't work with their hands, and it's seem like a lot of times they can't work with their minds. Okay, because they got
Well,
mind control. They on that MK Ultra. What's it called? MLK Ultra. What's it called?
Okay, Ultra.
You know what I'm talking? That mind control stuff. That's what they got in the. That's what they got in TikTok. In the TikTok,
uh,
they got
well,
MLK Ultra.
Well, tell everybody, give us all the information that you want to give or whatever, because definitely going to have to do this again soon because we still got a lot to talk about. But definitely to give all the information so people know where to find y'all and what y'all doing.
Yes, and you guys don't forget to go to the website morehopenow.com and stay connected on Instagram, Facebook, all those things.
Yes, and we'll be
Yes.
pulling up. Just keep when they come on and join our mailing list, they get exclusive tea on when we because we pop up. We do pop ups called house parties. Okay, and it's no party like a house party. You don't know where we're gonna pull up next. But in order for
Okay.
you to find the beats, you need to pull up on the website and subscribe, so you can be part of our Hope
Right,
House
so you
community.
know.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? You
That's
want to be part of the homies. We the Hope Dealers,
Yeah.
and our community's called the homies. You know what I mean? So
what's
yeah.
up. That's what's up. I appreciate y'all coming on, and God bless y'all tenfold for what y'all doing, because what y'all doing for these youth out here is remarkable. So I appreciate y'all coming on tonight, giving us our time, and whatever we can do to help, we here. And I'm not just saying that because we live. I mean it. Whatever we can do to help, we here. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. Keep hope alive, and have a great week coming
Yes,
up.
you guys have an
how
amazing
you too?
afternoon.
All right.
All right, bye guys.
Brown skin girl, and she knew I was out to go and clear my mind.